All right, let's dive into the wild world of deepfakes. This is a technology that's moving at, well, lightning speed, and it's totally blurring the line between what's real and what's not. And this isn't just about some clever video tricks. It's a full-on, high-stakes arms race. We're going to trace it all the way from the beginning, right up to the front lines of our digital world today.
Okay, so take a good, close look at this picture. It feels real, right? You can almost feel the warm light. You can see the story in the cowboy's face. But here's the crazy part. None of it is real. This isn't a photograph. It's a memory that was never actually made, generated by an AI from nothing more than a few words of text.
And that really leads us to the biggest question of all, the one we're going to be exploring here. When technology can cook up realities that are completely indistinguishable from our own, how do we even navigate a world where seeing isn't necessarily believing anymore? So first things first, let's just quickly define what we're talking about. The word deepfake itself is just a mashup of deep learning, that's the super powerful AI that makes all this possible, and, well, fake. It all started as this new way to swap faces in videos, but as you're about to see, it has become so much more sophisticated than that. Now, to really understand where we are today, we have to rewind. We have to go back to the beginning, to that first wave of deepfakes that really brought this technology out into the open. And the speed at which this all happened was just astounding. In 2017, the tech basically goes mainstream. A year later, by 2018, the race to figure out how to detect it is already on. And by 2020, you've got the tech community releasing these huge data sets just to try and speed up that detection research. This timeline, it just shows you how fast this whole technological tug of war took off. The way this first worked is actually pretty fascinating. These early deepfakes used something called an autoencoder. So imagine you train one AI on thousands and thousands of pictures of one person, and another AI on a different person. Then you basically just swap the part of the AI that reconstructs the face to stick a new face onto the original video. It's a clever, if complicated, trick. You can think of these early deepfakes like a really sophisticated digital mask, but like any mask, it didn't always fit perfectly. So forensic experts could actually spot the seams where the fake face was sort of blended onto the real one. They'd look for things called periocular artifacts, which is just a fancy way of saying glitches around the eyes, or even weird, unnatural blinking. These were the little giveaways that the whole thing was a fake. But the game was about to change. Big time. The tech was evolving from just swapping faces to generating entire, breathtakingly realistic worlds, literally from scratch. And this slide, wow, this just perfectly captures that quantum leap. On the left, you've got the kind of glitchy, often unconvincing results from those early deepfakes. But on the right, that's a scene made by a modern AI model. We're not just talking about a face anymore, we're talking about the entire scene. The lighting, the textures, the vibe, all of it just conjured out of code. The progress is it's amazing. And of course, whenever you have a technological leap this big, big money is right behind it. This isn't some niche hobby anymore. As of early 2024, an AI video startup called Higgsfield, a major player here, was valued at a staggering $1.3 billion. The gold rush is definitely on. So with these generators getting so incredibly powerful, the people working on detection had to completely scrap their old plans. The old rulebook was totally useless and a brand new arms race kicked off. So why did those old detection methods suddenly stop working? Well, because the entire battlefield shifted. We're not looking for the flaws in a digital mask anymore. We're questioning the very physics of a whole new generated world. Modern AI doesn't just paste a face onto a video, it builds the entire scene. There are no seams defined, no mismatched lighting, because the AI is the artist painting the whole picture. Those old fingerprints, they're just gone. Okay, so how do you spot a fake when it's basically perfect? Well, you train another AI to be an expert on reality itself. Modern detectors get fed a massive diet of both real and fake videos, and they start to learn the subtle statistical patterns of the real world. They use something called loss functions, which is basically a penalty system for anything that breaks the rules of physics, or light, or even biology, like the tiny invisible pulse you can see under our skin. And this table really lays out that whole evolution perfectly. We started out looking for really obvious things, like those blending seams. Then we moved on to more subtle stuff, like weird eye movements. Now, today's best detectors are looking at the physics of a scene, these tiny micromotions, and even something called clip signals, which, simply put, means they can tell if the image just logically makes sense.
The clues are getting way harder to find, but the detectors are getting way smarter.
Which brings us right up to today, where this incredibly powerful tech is living this double life. It's both a revolutionary tool for creators and a potential weapon for misinformation. On the one hand, the positive side, this technology is a huge deal for businesses. Platforms like Synthesia let companies create super realistic training and marketing videos using AI avatars. They can even translate them into a bunch of different languages, just like that. It's a total revolution in how fast and how big you can scale. And the list of legitimate uses is just getting longer and longer. You've got Higgsfield turning product links into social media ads. You've got Synthesia completely changing corporate training. And companies like OpenAI and Runway are giving filmmakers tools that, until recently, only huge Hollywood studios could afford. But, and this is a really big but, there is a very dark side to all this. This quote from The Guardian, written all the way back in 2018, feels more true today than ever. The exact same tech that can create a cool product ad can also be used to create incredibly convincing disinformation, to destroy trust, and to create a world where truth itself is dangerously up for grabs. So, where does all of this leave us? Well, we're stuck in this constant, escalating battle between creation and verification. And honestly, this is a race that really has no finish line. Every single time generative AI gets better, the tools we use to spot the fakes have to get better too. As that line between what's real and what's synthetic gets blurrier and blurrier, our ability to verify what's authentic becomes absolutely critical. It's just a never-ending cycle of innovation on both sides. And all of this leads to a massive question about our future. We're getting really, really close to a world where AI can create flawless, completely undetectable fakes. And when we hit that point, what is the word truth even going to mean? In a world full of synthetic realities, what do we hold on to?